Have you ever gone out to the pitcher's mound and fell flat on your face? Well, Jake Odorizzi did that tonight, and probably felt like Charlie Brown out there. Oh no, Charlie Brown. It was not your day, and Dusty Baker, aka Snoopy, did not take you out of the game and left you in and let you give up 4 home runs against the Dodgers. And the game's still going on, but we can still talk about it on this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast.
It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talks Stros. You find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros. And hey, guess what? Kyle Tucker just stole a base.
All right, and today's show is sponsored by Mr. Corona's question. How much longer till we can make
Make an excuse for Odorizzi is
okay.
what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
There you go.
So basically, a lot of people don't like Odorizzi right now. We'll talk about that on today's podcast. And I'm sure I know that we've had a lot of exchanges with Sully on the Locked On MLB podcast. And I know that he came down really hard on Dodgers fans, especially with how they acted in yesterday's game. It seems like they've been a little bit more civil in tonight's game. But then again, they did throw a cocktail or something at Kyle Tucker. So, but if you want to go hear what Sully had to say about Dodgers fan, go listen to the Locked On MLB podcast on Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. And guys, thank y'all once again for subscribing on YouTube, everywhere, to Apple, and listening to the Locked On Astros podcast. You keep us going, you keep us motivated. And even though I've got a big day tomorrow, we decided to go ahead and do this episode just a little bit early. So excuse this for, we normally wait till the end of the game, but this game is kind of ugly and we didn't want to wait till the end of the game. So don't worry about it, Mr. Corona. It's okay. We know what you mean. Odorizzi had a bad day. We all have a bad day. And we're going to talk about Mr. Odorizzi's bad day on this podcast.
Yeah, this is the third game in 4 games that he's given up 2 home runs. He gave up 3 today. He is a fly ball pitcher. That doesn't work when you're playing the best teams in baseball. And
he gave up 4, dude.
Oh, was it a 4? Oh, I'm sorry. Was there a 4th home run? Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I thought maybe we pulled him out of the game.
Remember
and
Pollock
put in.
Hit that blast?
Oh, I was thinking Belak was in giving up so many home runs. But
Belak isn't even on the team.
I know that, Eric. That was a joke. See, this is what's weird to me. Now, I'll get off on the weeds in that here in a second, but I do want to recognize, because I listened to Sully's episode and where he basically excoriated Dodgers fans, and he talked about our podcast, and he said H-Town Wheelhouse and I, we have these exchanges and we have differences of opinions, but at the end of the day, it's just baseball. And I know you have friends that are Dodgers fans. I have friends that are Dodgers fans. I mean, all over the place, but we even have guys that we know. Heck, the voice of our show, Columbus Trey, talked about his experiences at this stadium. And I was a little surprised. Now, I don't know if it's a PR thing, if Dave Roberts just doesn't want to say anything, or if they're taking care of things internally, but he was like, I thought the Dodgers fans were great tonight. And I was like, what? No, they were terrible. They were at their absolute worst, And so with that being said, let bygones be bygones. If they end up losing this game, if you're listening to this podcast, unless they had an amazing comeback at 7-2 right now as we speak, and you're listening to it in the future, we split the series 2-2 with the Dodgers. And I think that makes for an exciting setup if they're able to make it to the World Series. And if we are, how electric that would be, because more than likely you would have someone like a Scherzer versus McCullers or Kershaw. Like, if I were them, I would go Scherzer game 1 if I was in the World Series, just because he's Max Scherzer. And in the first inning, it looked like we were going to get to him early,
Right. Especially with how Brantley got to him. And I know that Molly Knight was like, oh, yeah, Scherzer started his career with the Dodgers. He's a hero instantly by striking out Jose Altuve. And in fact, Max Scherzer is only the third pitcher in history to strike out Jose Altuve 3 times in a game. Do you know who the other 2 pitchers are?
I don't.
It's actually Zach Greinke did it in 2017. If you would believe that. And the other person is who was it? I put it somewhere, but it was Matt Cain in his perfect game.
Oh, that's right. I remember that game. They were in San Francisco when that happened, right?
Yeah, the only time in history that Jose Altuve has struck out against one pitcher 3 times.
Was that in 2016?
That was in
2015?
2012. That was a long
2012. Oh,
yes.
That was like his second year. That was after his 2011 rookie. Yeah, wow, that's a long time ago. That's a young Altuve.
Yeah, as Mr. Ricrona says, we went on 500 on this road trip. Yes, that's fine. But considering the teams that we played the Giants, we played the Dodgers. And we played the Mariners. Mariners are a pretty good team. So to play 500 against above 500 teams, I think that's pretty good, especially facing the pitching like we did. The Astros ran into a buzzsaw tonight. Max Scherzer was pretty darn good, and unfortunately, Jake Odorizzi was not. And what I did like, I know that we saw a couple incidents of Dodgers fans throwing stuff, but I do like the way that Dodgers fans are finding other way to take out their aggression. We saw the beach balls being hit up in the air. Okay, that's one way to take out your aggression, not by hitting people. Beach balls are good. I don't entirely endorse this, but apparently they're putting Astros baseball cards in urinals and peeing on them.
I don't endorse that at all. That's what
you like peeing on men.
No. Okay. No, stop. Stop. No, stop. That's what 5-year-olds do. Stop it. That is what 5-year-olds do. That is 100% unacceptable, childish, trash, horrible, awful, pathetic fan base. I'm sorry.
Right.
Dodgers fans that are of sane mind and aren't like in a loony bin somewhere need to condemn the hell out of Dodgers Nation for acting like a bunch of barbarians. And they need to not ever go to another baseball game, or B, check themselves into an insane asylum, because they acted like complete morons. I mean, Arkham Asylum probably has more sane people than Dodger Stadium did this weekend. I'm sorry.
Gotham kind of supposed to be closer to New York? Or
I'm just saying Arkham Asylum has more sane people than Dodger Stadium. That's what I'm saying.
Let's get away from the Batman talk. We have a Brooks Raley sighting. Congratulations, Brooks Raley, for coming back from your suspension. But yeah, so I'm not too worried about this road trip. The Astros are going to face a lot of bad teams for a while now, starting with the Twins. We'll talk about the 4-game series that they're going to face pretty soon, because after this game, they're going to have to fly home and get home at about 6 o'clock tomorrow morning or something. And then we're going to have to play a night game. So whoever did this schedule really did not do the Astros any favors. So a lot of people are asking about Odorizzi. Is he going to stay in a rotation once Jose Urquidy is ready? And I joined the Apollo chat for a little bit today. I didn't stay too long, but they're asking, well, who are you going to, if you're going to take Odorizzi out of the rotation, who are you going to put back in? Are you going to put in Framber Valdez back in? So that's the question. So I think that Valdez may not.
You mean Jose Urquidy, because Framber's pitching
No,
on
not
in the next
Valdez.
game?
I meant Christian Javier is who I
Oh,
meant.
Christian Javier. Oh,
Yeah, Chris, or you could put Christian Javier back into rotation. So I think that Christian Javier has made a name for himself in the bullpen. I think that they like what he can do. He can give you 2, maybe 3 innings out of the bullpen. I think they're going to keep him in the bullpen, honestly. But who knows? Urquidy is not even remotely close to coming back. So I think we are stuck with Odorizzi. The Dodgers signed Cole Hamels today. That could have been your option. And they signed
did
him for
you?
1 million and he gets a bonus for every start. So he gets 400,000 for every start. I think
No,
that's
no, they said 200,000 for every start,
200,000. Okay.
but still, that's a lot of money. Cole Hamels hasn't been worth a darn in a long time, and so I mean, say what you want about that signing. I don't see where the Dodgers get all this money. I don't see how they can pay all this and just
52,000 people at the game yesterday. And
yeah, I know, but they just now started letting full capacity not too long ago. And I don't know, here's the thing. Odorizzi is going to be in the rotation. They're paying him too much money to remove him from the rotation. Now, what we need to talk about is, will he be a part of this playoff roster?
yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
will he be a part of the starting? Now, he may be in the roster, but will he be as one of the 4 starters? I highly doubt it at this point.
Well, sometimes I highly doubt if I'm a cook or I don't have the right groceries for it. And I'm like, is there a way where I can have food maybe delivered where I can cook and have everything I need? Talk to me about Freshly.
Yeah, definitely. Dinner time can be chaotic, but with Freshly, it's easy. Their chefs take care of your meals a few nights a week and take the pressure off of you, Eric. We are all trying to get in shape and eat right. Freshly can help. Their delicious meals are designed by nutritionists and cooked by chefs, making it easier to eat better. Stressed, tired, just don't feel like cooking? Food that's fast doesn't have to be fast food. Freshly offers quality meals without the hard work of prepping, cooking, and cleaning. So here's the deal. Grocery shopping and cooking could be a pain. Ordering is easy. Visit freshly.com and choose over 30 delicious, satisfying, better-for-you meals like steak peppercorn, sausage baked penne, or their chicken pesto bowl. This way, you can keep your fridge stocked and you can skip a trip to the store. Now, our listeners can try Freshly for just $6.16 per meal. Stop searching on the internet for healthy food near you, or near me on your phone. Your meals are always delivered fresh. Right now, Freshly is offering our listeners, you watching our show, $40 off your first 2 orders when you go to freshly.com/locked on. Stop stressing out about dinner. That's freshly.com/locked on for 40% off your first 2 orders. Check it out. Tell them we sent you.
Hey guys, I have breaking news for you. Alex Bregman's not going to be there when you need him. So if you don't want to break down, make sure you call rockauto.com. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's right, because if you're broken down and Alex does pass you by, he'll stop and he'll help you out. But see, Rock Auto is there 24/7 online. They have this easily usable website. They've been owned for 20 years by a family who just cares about helping you save money. Why spend 30, 50, sometimes 100% more for the same parts from a chain store or a car dealership? If you have a Honda Odyssey and you need a fuel pump, you're going to pay $353 from a chain store. But Rock Auto, it's going to be $216. We encourage you to discover the Rock Auto difference. That's right. I've looked at it. I know when I go to change my brakes here pretty soon, I keep talking about it. I've got to do it on my Titan. I've already priced it out. It's about 40% less than what I would spend going and having someone do it for me. So go check it out. Go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts that are available for your car, truck, minivan, whatever it is you drive. Right, Locked On in their How Did You Hear About Us box. So let them know that we sent you. Amazing selection, reliable low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. rockauto.com.
All right. So the answer to your question is, will Odorizzi be on the playoff roster? Most likely not. I don't see him. I see him being Mike Fiers, so to
So
speak.
do you think they'll totally leave him off?
Yeah.
Like completely off?
Yeah. I don't see any after what he did today and Mookie Betts, and after the first 3 pitches, he told Justin Turner. He was like, it's flat. It's he has nothing. He said something to Justin Turner, and the Dodgers didn't look back from there. And so today, let me see. He had 3 innings, 6 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned runs, 2 walks. One of those was a 4-pitch walk. And then I think Pollock hit that monster home run right after that. So he allowed the 4 home runs. This was unfortunately not the only time an Astro starter has allowed 4 home runs. Zach Greinke did it recently too. So the Astro starters have a 4.84 ERA in the past 18 games. So that's not great.
But how many runs are we averaging per game in the last 18 games?
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, hey, let's be glasses half full, right? I'm joking.
Odorizzi's ERA is now 4.95 on the season, so that's not great.
But what's his FIP, Eric, or his FIP X? I'm sorry. I just love the trolls when we talk about ERA and average. They freak out. We need statisticians on this show. I'm totally giving you a hard time. But yeah, here's the bottom line. When you are Odorizzi and you sign for the money you signed for, although it wasn't a ton of money, it was still quite a bit of money. Someone was like, well, he's still a project. No, it's August 4th, 2021.
That, yeah.
You don't have time for projects. He's not a call up. He's
Joe
not
Kelly's in.
He's no good. He's not some like, oh, look, we found this kid and he's amazing. Let's see if we can work him into the deal. No. Projects are over with. Like, you're a veteran. You don't get project time. Aledmys Diaz, Robel Garcia isn't a project. Robel Garcia is just a lower level baseball player. Oh, Eric, have you got the fan club website up for Robel?
No, I've actually forgot to pay my dues this month. So
you're making no dues. You made it. You don't have to pay dues if you made it.
All right.
That's not how it works.
His FIP this year is 4.30.
Wow.
This is Odorizzi, and today's FIP is 20.50.
Is what 20.50?
His xFIP is 7.91. So
wow,
it shouldn't have been as bad as it was.
Wow. Interesting. So if y'all are listening to the podcast, we're here going live. It's top of the 8th, 1 strike. Altuve's up against Joe Kelly, and he's got a second strike, swinging strike. Altuve does not look comfortable at the plate. I don't know why he's swinging at the balls he's swinging at. They're not even starting in the strike zone when he was going against Scherzer. It was like he was desperation trying to poke a hit out in the outfield. And sometimes Altuve does that. He gets outside of himself, and when he chases, it's not good for him because, he doesn't have the extension, Eric. He's 5'6". He doesn't have long arms. Like Cody Bellinger, when he hit that ball off of Odorizzi got him tied up on a high inside fastball. I'm like, throw the guy high inside fastballs to hold it back because he swings and misses every one of them because his swing is so long.
I was waiting for him to say nice swing, what? But
oh no, he's not going to say that.
But going back to Odorizzi, his ERA before today's game was 4.30. His expected ERA is 4.40. His FIP is 4.30. His expected FIP is 4.50. So he is the most balanced person on the Astros roster. So after today, it's 4.95. His FIP is 5.06, and his expected FIP is supposed to be 4.67. So I don't have his expected ERA yet. It hasn't been updated yet. But
So here's a point I want to make about Jake Myers not getting in, other than maybe an at bat and maybe 1 or 2 defensive outs. You don't want to put a guy fresh off of AAA that's got a hot bat in a hostile environment like Dodger Stadium. He's going to get some playing time when they come home against the Twins. I think the Twins and the Rangers come to town, I believe, or something like that. I don't have the schedule memorized off the top of my head, but basically it's going to be a better situation for him to come back and start here. So you look, Jake Myers may get some starts here or there. And if not, he may be pinch hit mid-game and stay in the half of the game. They're going to work him in. There's no rush to get him in. But Chas McCormick, I'm really disappointed that I haven't seen Chas McCormick out there more. I really thought they would put Chas McCormick in center field and maybe give Brantley. I mean, I'm glad they didn't give him a day off tonight. Well, but with Brantley's legs and stuff, I mean, why wouldn't you rest Brantley? You won the first game in LA.
You have Yuli out, and so you don't want to leave too many bats on the bench. You know, if you would have sat Brantley and Yuli, everybody would be calling for Baker's job.
No, okay, I understand that, but you traded Straw because you trust more, or the front office wants Chas McCormick out there more because of his bat, and you're not even using him. That makes no sense to me. It makes no sense.
That goes back to the conspiracy theory about the reason why they traded Straw was that they wanted that. So yeah, I know.
Yeah, so that's my only point. I understand having Yuli and Brantley both out at the same time on top of Bregman. That makes sense. But if McCormick was the guy you kept because he can hit, I don't know. And Pedro Leon, is better. Anybody's better than Robel Garcia at this point, but Pedro Leon is hurt. Jeremy Pena is hurt.
Stop talking about my boy. Robel Garcia, come on.
Eric, if you're not going to pony up with a fan site with a Robel Garcia fan club shirt, then I don't want to hear it. Come on.
Somebody's going Adam Clanton is better than Robel Garcia.
Hey, we need to get Adam on the show, by the way. Yeah, that would be a fun show.
So, So, you know what? I would bet that would be a great show. So let's talk about betonline.ag.
So BetOnline they are your sportsbook experts. They have all the information on all the bets. If you saw the news today, it looks like Philadelphia is closing in on a deal for the Texans to Deshaun Watson in a massive trade that's going to go down possibly. And if that does, you can maybe bet how many wins or how many games Deshaun Watson even plays in this year, or how many wins the Texans are going to get. Whether you're betting on football, baseball, basketball, UFC, Olympic sports, whatever it is, whether you're betting on whether Eric is going to get a Robel Garcia fan club or not, that's probably not up there, but you might be able to create props. Call betonline.ag, look them up. And when you make your first deposit, you'll get 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. So check out betonline.ag. Use the promo code Locked On. They are your sportsbook experts.
All right, here's Carlos Correa at bat, and I would love to be watching this at Hooters right now. So tell us a little bit about Hooters.
So Hooters, because you're listening to this on Thursday, it is Texas Thursday. Every Thursday night, come see your favorite Hooters calendar girls in cutoff jeans and cowgirl boots and dance to Copperhead Road. $15 buckets, $5 crafts, and more every single Thursday. But you say, where is this Hooters? There's so many of them. Well, I want you to go to the one located at 2720796 Gulf Freeway in the Floor & Decor parking lot. You'll see the big Floor & Decor store. Then you'll see Hooters right there, 20796 Gulf Freeway. Check them out. And this Saturday, if you don't have your tickets to the UFC fight at the Toyota Center, that's okay. Hooters has got you covered. All right. All the action you can check out there August 7th. It's in town at Hooters and Webster. Good wings, cold beer, the world famous Hooters girls. No cover. Go check them out today.
Congratulations to the Dodgers fans that just interfered with the ball, the foul ball that could have got out of this inning. Carlos Correa hit a ball to right field, and Bellinger just kind of leaned in. He could have caught that ball. I mean, I know technically the fan is allowed to make that catch, but if you're a Dodgers fan, you step back and let him make that play. But so congratulations, Dodger fan. You just blew that. So if Correa hits a home run and leads to a big Astros victory, you got it, dude. You got your foul ball.
Did you just say and leads to an Astros victory? I don't think. Hey, I'm always positive on Astros. I just think this is one of those games where you just chalk it up. You know what, boys? Let's get on the plane and go home. Let's just call it a night. Odorizzi just looked terrible tonight. And in reality, you want him to have success because the team did invest a considerable
Right.
considerable amount of money. With Framber going down, it was a big deal to get someone like Odorizzi, and it just hasn't worked out. And sometimes you sign guys and it just doesn't work out. So I know we're bagging on him. We could never do what he does, but the thing is, he's got to turn it around. I mean, right now he's pitching for his playoff life. I would say he's pitching for his playoff relevance, because we've seen the Astros do it before, where Wade Miley fell off at the end. That he had a great year he had, and he was sayonara. Mike Fiers too. They were like, he's too crappy for the playoffs, and so they'll do it in a heartbeat.
Speaking of sayonara, we've been doing this way too often. We have to say sayonara to another Astros pitcher. Ralph Garza was claimed today by the Twins, so we may be seeing him in this next series.
Ralph Garza comes back for revenge.
So the Astros have lost Ralph Garza Jr., Nivaldo Rodriguez, and Ryan Hartman. So my question is, they must really did not like Ralph Garza Jr. because they could have put Tyler Ivey on the 60-man IL instead of claiming Justin Turner or Jacob Turner or
Justin Wilson. Justin Wilson.
Whatever.
On the 60-day IL. He said 60-man IL.
Oh, I called that. I called that homer. Y'all heard it here on the Locked On Astros podcast. I said he was getting a home run. Y'all heard that, right? Right?
Was it? And it's off of Joe Kelly, right?
Yes.
Because I'm not even watching. So
that was a nice swing, B. Anyway.
Just say it, man. Just say it.
No.
Come on, Eric. Come on.
Have to mark inappropriate. So, Dusty Baker said that Yuli Gurriel's neck is better, and he said, "You stay in so many hotels and use so many pillows. I'm surprised more guys don't end up kind of sore. He might be available late in game tonight, but Dusty Baker doubts it. So we'll see." And Dusty Baker on the Astros handling the road environments. You have no choice. You either thrive or you succumb to it. If you succumb to it, then the crowd has won. You have to support and thrive for each other. It's a sort of a survival tactic. I think the Astros did a hell of a job yesterday.
Yeah.
Mad Dog was giving them mad props for sticking up, and it looked like the Dodgers was welting under the pressure there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that was, I mean, to me, it was one of those things, you had it coming to you. There was no way that I think that game would have turned out any other way other than the way it did, just because of all the buildup. The people saying, "Oh, we just cannot wait to see the Astros and boo the Astros." Like, their sole motivation, Eric, for being at that game had nothing to do with the Dodgers winning, but everything to do with just simply booing. And it just is an abject failure on the part of Dodgers fans. But there's a certain group, that 294 group, they push a lot of this hate. They were the one that came to Houston and bought that whole section. They were the ones that were starting fights at Minute Maid Park. And Paul Valadez is listening, one of our faithful listeners. He's a season ticket holder in Houston. He lives in California, and he's got film footage in both stadiums of Dodgers fans instigating violent behavior. And at the end of the day, I mean, they don't deserve it. And that's the problem. They feel like they deserve something that's not theirs. It's called entitlement, and they feel entitled. And that's the difference between Houston and LA. We're not entitled. We earn it, period. We're better than them.
All right. So, also, Alex Bregman, the Skeeters were off today, but James Click said that Alex Bregman will probably need 2 more games at least. So he's going to travel with them to Round Rock, and he's going to probably play 2 more games. So I don't expect to see him until maybe Saturday at the earliest. So I think they're playing it really, really careful with him because he's technically 0 for 13 in his rehab stint. I know he did get that double, but that game was kind of washed out, so that didn't really count. So
Well, so I was talking to someone about Bregman's at bats. I was like, is that something to worry about? And they said in spring training, in rehab starts, he never is up there to hit. He's just trying to get his swing back. He's trying to
right,
make contact with the ball. So him swinging him striking out or him lining out or flying out is not reticent of what's going to happen when he
right.
gets to the club.
Yeah. So, and Dusty Baker said that Yordan Alvarez is and has been working at first base. Yes, they would have loved to put him in there right now with Yuli out and maybe get Chas McCormick into center field, but he was not ready to really play there yet. So, especially against a team like the Dodgers, you don't really want to make that call right now. They want him to be really comfortable out there. You remember when he first started coming up, they said he would probably play some first, and he was taking some reps out there. But he really hasn't played there since that first spring training, since he kind of came up. So, yeah, that may be something down the road, but I don't think they're going to be pushing him. But he's been looking a lot better in the outfield, and I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with him out there. And he looked really good when he hit that home run yesterday. So Bregman, yes, he did help people stranded on the side of the road. So props to Alex Bregman for being helping hand. I know a lot of people maybe wouldn't have stopped, but and odd news of day two, Ryan Presley was activated off the paternity list, but was not actually at the game today. So the Astros were playing shorthanded today, but they had to because of the day. You only get 5 days on the paternity list, so they had to activate him. So Brian Abreu was placed on the taxi squad, so he would meet the Astros and back in Houston. So
Okay, so I'm wondering on the is there like a certain kind of taxi they have to ride to the stadium in? If no, I'm sorry, that's a bad joke.
no, I think it's like the bullpen taxi or something.
I know it's like that. Have you seen the bullpen car that they're using in the Olympics for the relief pitchers?
Yeah, I forgot
We
the
need one of those. We need. I want a golf cart with a glove as the seat. That's all I need in my life to make it complete.
Yeah. So looking at the schedule for next year, we don't. I don't want to talk a lot about it, but some takeaways I had from it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I dislike when you have opening day, then you have an off day the next day. I really think that kind of disrupts.
That makes no sense. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Right. And B, we're not going to play the Dodgers. I think I joked around with a few people today. I'm like, well, I guess the schedule makers were like, after seeing what happened yesterday, let's change this real quick. And they made some quick changes, but I know that was already set. But we're not playing any of the NL West next year. We're going to be focused on the NL East next year.
Yeah.
So guess what?
Hey,
Braves, we're back.
Well, and here's the thing. Hopefully Ronald Acuna Jr. is playing next year because he is an electric player. Right. Hey, interesting trade proposal. Jackson Gatlin and I are working on a trade proposal for Jake Odorizzi to the Rockets, but he said we have to take John Wall or Eric Gordon. He said only if you take one of those two. So the Rockets are willing to sign Jake Odorizzi for maybe John Wall. What do y'all think?
Well, that'll put us over the luxury tax threshold.
We know, but it's NBA money. It's like Monopoly money. Like he's already paid. It's a new aggregate system. It's kind of adopted from the European Soccer League.
No, James Click will say no.
Dang it. Okay, well, Jackson and I are trying to solve the Astros problems.
Alrighty. So the upcoming matchups for the Twin Series is going to be Framber Valdez versus Griffin Jax, and then Zach Greinke versus Bailey Ober, and then it'll be Luis Garcia versus Michael Pineda, and then it'll be Lance McCullers Jr. versus Kenta Maeda. I know two of those names for the Twins. The other two, it's like, okay. So Griffin Jax is 1-1 on the season with a 6.41 ERA. Bailey Ober is 1-4 with a 4.94 ERA. Michael Pineda, we all know him. He has pine tar everywhere. But
on his neck.
He has 4-6 with a 3.84 ERA, and Kenta Maeda is somebody that a lot of people were talking about trading for at the trade deadline, but he stayed. He's 4-4 with a 4.65 ERA. He's not having as great a season as he did last year. The Twins are who they are. They're not a great team this year, but they still have some power. But for the first time, the Astros will be playing the Twins without Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, and without Byron Buxton too. Byron Buxton's not even playing.
He's still hurt. Okay.
He's not in the lineup. So, but they still have guys like Max Kepler. They still have Miguel Sano, who has power. They have Josh Donaldson, who, if he's hitting that day, can hit. So yeah, outside of that, George Polanco, they don't really have much. I'm really I'm glad the Astros didn't trade for Buxton because he's not even playing right now. But regardless, this should be a winnable series. The friendly confines of Minute Maid Park, and if we end up going to a game or something, we'll let you know, and
more
you can meet up.
comfortable pillows for Yuli Gurriel.
Yeah, but that's true, Eric. If you've ever gone to a hotel, man, and
I normally bring my own pillows.
Yeah, most hotel pillows absolutely stink. And someone's like, he needs his own My Pillow. I'm like, whatever. Like, everybody is making pillow suggestions to Yuli. So maybe we get a pillow and have him sign it next game. No, that would be not good. Maybe.
So Alexander is still confident that the Dodgers are going down tonight. You go.
Alexander, I love your positivity. So on that note, let's check in. Marv, let's check into the game. It is
Maton is on the mound. He has 2 runners on base with 2 outs.
Yes.
And Dusty Baker is wondering, I've gone through all my new pitchers today.
He's like, hey, someone get me Belak.
Mookie Betts got it out. Wow. This is awesome. So the Astros are going to hit in the 9th inning versus Kenley Jansen.
Oh, we own Kenley Jansen. There might be some magic here.
Movie.
I've seen this before. I like it. It is
Alrighty.
Diaz, Tucker, and Robel Garcia, your man.
If he gets a home run,
okay,
I'll start a site.
So if Diaz and Tucker get on and Robel Garcia hits a home run, they'll be within 1 run, and there'll be no outs, a 1-run game. We could extend this podcast into forever. It could be like a marathon.
No, I say we end this one, and if they come back, we could do a short one afterwards, because then we'll have a lot of people listening. But guys, I think that's all we're gonna do for this podcast. Unfortunately, it looks like the Astros, and barring a Robel Garcia miracle, they split the series with the Dodgers, and we'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. Betting on the Astros doesn't have to be a guessing game. If you listen to the new Locked On Bets podcast hosted by your boy Q and handicapping expert Lee Sterling, get daily picks, blowout special, wrong team favorite picks, and Lee Sterling's lock of the day. Follow the Locked On Bets podcast, brought to you by the betonline.ag, wherever you get your podcasts, and make sure you keep on subscribing, and make sure you hit that like button on the Locked On Astros podcast on YouTube. And we will be back tomorrow with another edition of the Locked On Astros podcast at a normal time after the game. Go Stros, and we will see you tomorrow.